Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. So excited that you are with us. I am Dr. Monique Flemings, and I am the visionary author and publisher of Becoming Unapologetic. And this is a powerful book that celebrates the voices of women leaders, how we break barriers, and how we walk into our authenticity. And on today, I'm super excited because I have one of the amazing authors with me to talk about who she is, her chapter, why did she decide to do an anthology project or a book collaboration, and she's going to share about how you can stay in contact with her because she is a powerful leader in the community. So I am going to toss the mic now to Deonna Hart, and she is going to just first introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are.
Thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be here. Yes, I am Deonna Hart. I am the founder and CEO of D Hart Enterprises, where we provide leadership development for emerging leaders, and we also create safe spaces for women of color, ages 40 and over, to provide support, accountability, and to give tools that help you to create your pathway to next and own your identity.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing. And right now, we need safe spaces for leaders, especially women leaders. So if you
Yeah.
don't mind just telling us a little bit more, like what does that look like? Do you provide coaching services? Do you provide consulting, team building? Tell us what that looks like because I'm sure there is a woman listening right now who is a leader and she's probably thinking, I need a safe space.
Right. So last year, God gave me the vision to create the Rites of Passage to Sisterhood Women's Conference. And it really grew out of being in a space where a lot of the women around me were struggling with how do they navigate in this transition period going over 40 and also over 50 and what that looks like professionally and personally. And in a conversation, I was telling somebody that when I was 13, I was fortunate enough to have a rites of passage ceremony. And so it was based off the African tradition of when you become 13, you get to go through a process of really it well my process gave me the opportunity to explore my lineage and the women in my family, and I was fortunate enough to be able to count back 5 generations and
Oh,
found out that my great great grandmother was a slave on the Smith plantation in Alabama, and I can't say she was raped, but she had a child with the slave owner's son, and so that became my great great grandmother, and just finding out that information gave me so much strength and
mm-hmm,
purpose in
mm-hmm.
that I understood that I I had become the manifestation of her dreams as a slave and having to have a child with the slave owner's son, and look at me, I'm 13 and I'm free and I can go to school and I can learn, and so as an adult over 40 now, near to 50, right? Um
What?
yep, I'm there. I am getting there. I am getting there. But I just realized that while I was fortunate to have that experience, a lot of women did not. And so I had it, and I'm still trying to process who I am now because of the community that I've come from. There are so many people that have seen me since I was born, knew me before I was born, and there's a level of people remember you from the first impression or the first memory they have of you. And so many of the elders in my family and in my community remember me when I was 5 and 10 and 12. And so for a lot of people, I'm still the little girl, but I'm a whole full woman. I've been married almost 25 years. I have 2 children. One fully grown, like, and I'm a full grown woman, but to a lot of people, I'm still a little girl. But I get to choose and I get to give myself permission not to be held by their memory,
Mm.
to be diminished by the limits of what they see in me, and then
Wow.
learning to trust what I know is in me and what God has called me to do.
Wow. Oh my, that is so good. I mean, okay, so you've given us a lot to unpack. So first of all, I love the fact that you had that experience at 13. You're right. Many young girls have not had that experience, but many women have not had that experience. And so now you are
Mhm.
creating that for women as they are moving into their 40s and into their 50s, which is so powerful, that rite of passage, because I can definitely testify, as we would say in church, that when you move into your 40s, it's totally different. When you move into your 50s, it's totally different. And I'm pushing up on the next one. So I'm seeing that it is very different as well.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that is a powerful experience for women. And so if you're listening, ladies, and that's something you want to partake in, you want to connect with her and have that experience. But you started talking about the permission to be great. And we're going to go into that in a
Mhm.
second, but that really stems out of the fact that you're right. People in your circle have been knowing you. And I'm one of those people who have known you since you were a young woman. And so you're absolutely correct. In our eyes, we still see you as baby girl. And you're right. Like you said, I'm a full grown woman. I've been married 25 plus years. I have children. I am running my own business. I'm a leader in the community. And you're
Mhm.
absolutely correct. I mean, help us to not hold everybody hostage to the teenage years. What would you
Mhm.
recommend for us, the elders, or people that are like, oh, it's a term of endearment, but how do we let women become great? Give them the permission to be great. How do we help empower you to be able to step into your womanhood?
I'm hesitating because saying this, one, draws emotion, and I know, but Imma say it. The way that our elders can help us really step into our womanhood is have the courage to be who you are. Because
Mm,
what I believe is we are held the way that the women before us were held. And
wow.
so we pass on the thing that was done to us, good, bad, or indifferent. And so a lot like my mother's generation, my aunt's generation, they were not given permission to choose for themselves what they want. It was dictated, and you had expectations to not your family and to the community to do things a certain way, right? And now I have I have a capacities and access to things that my mother didn't have access to, and that my aunts didn't have access to, and the same as my children have access to things that I didn't have access to. But when we allow the generations behind us to stand in what they have and own who they are and give them permission and say you get to decide where your life is going to go. I trust that God will take you where you need to be, right? And that you will do the thing that is instinctively in you. And so I think the best way is to, for a lot of us, trust the God we say we believe in and let
Mm,
Him guide our youth and take them and take care of them. And we do what we're called to do, which is be a support and be a guide and not try to control somebody's outcome. Even though you love them, you want the best for them, you've gone through some things and you've hit some roadblocks that you can tell them, don't go down that street because that street broke up. Go this way. Well, sometimes we need to go down the street and get the tow car broke up so we can figure out how to fix the wheel and get back on the right path. And that hurts. It's hard. It is
mhm.
hard to watch somebody go through things that are going to be hurtful and hard and cause struggle, and not try to stop them. But if we keep intervening in people's lives and in their stories, when does God get to show up? And when
Wow.
do they get to learn to trust um, the God in them and the voice of God in their own ears? So it's really around having the courage to let people mess up and fail and know that it's going to be okay.
That is, you have just given us a whole lesson there. You're right. It is the courage of trusting God, allowing people to have their own path and their own journey, and allow them to actually learn. Because to be quite honest, it's not until you go through some things that you actually learn.
Mhm,
And so if we're
mhm.
so busy trying to protect everybody, then we are definitely stifling the growth. Okay, so this is what you do in your business when women come to you and meet with you. Tell me what type of people you work with. What are the types of ladies that come for to your business for coaching and consulting?
So most of the women that I have been working with usually work in nonprofit. They are in middle management, so maybe managers, coordinators, directors, and they've been doing this for a long time, right? But they find themselves in a position where they keep working hard and being innovative and showing up to prove that they're worthy, and they don't get support.
Mm,
They are told that they need coaching, they need the professional development, they need more time, they need they just need more,
mm,
right? But the problem is they've done the work, and their work proves that they can do it, and they've been innovative and they've changed things and they've accomplished some things. The problem is they're not in the right environment. And the reason why that is a problem is because our fear of being uncomfortable, our fear of not knowing whether we can go somewhere else and make enough money to cover what this job is covering. The fear of, am I even really good enough? Is what they're saying true? Am I not working hard enough? Do I need to go back to school? You know, we take on ownership of other people. And so the women that I typically come in contact with are having these experiences, and they don't have anywhere else to go. And the worst part of it is the very people who they are looking to give them that next opportunity are fully committed to not seeing them in the at the next level. So we have to choose. And so where I come in is having that conversation to say, when you really look at it, are you doing the thing that is really instinctively in you to do? And if you are, is this the right place to do it? If it's not, what are you going to do to set yourself up to get in the right position? And so through a series of, so depending on whether I'm one-on-one coaching, we'll just, if I'm one-on-one coaching, we'll go through some exercises, we'll plot out some things, use some different tools. And okay, you still there? Okay.
mhm, mhm,
We'll plot out some things, we'll use some tools and some exercises to start really scaffolding out what your transition plan will be. And we create community. So then that's where the rites of passage to sisterhood comes in, where we connect in community and you find other women. And that's where we practice mindset, self first practices, dispelling those
mhm,
limited beliefs, conquering our saboteurs, and tuning up our sages that will come in and turn down the voice of the saboteur. And we find strength in that rites of passage in that sister circle. And so, from professional to personal, you have a community of women who share similar experiences and understand what it feels like and what it looks like to overcome all of those challenges.
You know, you and I are in this kind of similar spaces when it comes to leadership development, leadership consulting, you know, for women or even teams and organizations. I want you to speak to this. That was some good stuff there, but I want you to speak to this because I'm sure you have ran into this in your pursuit and working with clients as well. Is this whole, and I'm not sure if it's a mindset or what it is. You can help me with this, but this whole notion that women know they need the development. They know they need to progress forward. They need all the different tools that you have just shared previously. They're not being seen in their various environments, but there is this mindset or this pushback sometimes on wanting to invest in themselves. I've
Yeah.
had, you know, clients say that this is something that their employer should pay for. And that is such a misnomer to believe that your employer should pay for your personal and professional development. So speak to that if that's been the case for you as well. Speak to that. And then what would you tell women that are feeling like, well, yes, I need all the things that you're saying, but I am not going to pay for it.
So it's two parts to that. Number one, I have been a victim of that myself, and not because I didn't think the development was valuable. It was really out of fear,
Oh,
because
okay.
we fear the lack. We
Gotcha.
fear not having enough. And our mindset says, I can't afford that, right? To invest in me is selfish and not a good use of my funds, because I can go on this trip and that'll serve me. I can buy this purse and that'll serve me. I can go out to dinner with my girls and that'll serve me. And I can get what I need from there, right? And so it's about a choice mostly based out of fear, right? For me, I got to a place where I understood that regardless of whether I wanted to or I could convince my employer to pay for my professional development, it was not going to benefit me in the way that I needed it to, because I did not make the sacrifice in myself. I didn't.
That part
And
right there. That
yeah.
part is so good. Let's just take a pause
Mhm. It
and
means
just
something different.
it
It
come
means
on.
something completely different when the dollar is yours, because um and it's all about buy-in, right? And so we
Yes.
think about buy-in as like, oh, you just trying to convince me to do something. No, 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 no. When you have skin in the game, you
Yes.
show up differently. You respond differently. It's just like if you went straight to college after high school, right? And then something happened and you dropped out.
Mhm.
You know, right after high school, you doing it because they told you that's what you're supposed to do, right? But you drop out, you live life for a couple of years, and then you finally decide, no, I'm going back because I need this piece of paper and I know it's going to benefit me. Now your skin is in the game because you value it differently. And so when you go to school now, you're gonna make straight A's,
Yeah.
or at least A's and B's, and you're gonna be on time and you're gonna do the paper and it's not gonna be late, and you're gonna go to all the activities because you're coming to it not because it's expected of you, because it's what you want.
So good.
And so when you learn that investing in you means if I want it, it's going to benefit me.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, it makes a big difference when it is coming and you have sacrificed and you decided, I'm not going to do XYZ so that I can put this money towards my personal development, to hiring a
Yeah.
coach or getting some coaching, or I'm sacrificing. And you're absolutely right. It's a whole mindset. And I like the way you put it, though. It was like, okay, that's good. because I like how you shared you have been in that seat as well. You've been a victim of that, and it comes from fear. And I probably knew that it came from fear, but I just didn't connect it until I was like, okay, I guess that fear is something. I promise you, it's
It
just
is.
always cutting up.
It is.
All
It
right,
is.
so tell us about this whole book project. You are one of the authors on the book project, and you're not a new author. You have written it before. So I want to tell you, I want you to share with the audience first about your previous book that's out there, what you've already done, and then tell us why you decided to be a part of this book project.
Well, thank you. And thank you for even acknowledging that book. Um, because in full transparency, I have not even given it that level of acknowledgement for myself, right? But the book is called Your Pathway to Next. It
Mm,
is a journal that has a daily journal and also a life planner. And
nice.
I wrote that journal to accompany my conference. And so, in addition to having journal prompts and also planners for like weekly and monthly planners, it also has some of the tools that we share in our conference. And so, what's most important for me when I'm encountering women or groups, I just don't believe in lecturing and
Mhm,
sharing my thoughts and not giving you tools. Because if you walk away from a conversation with me and you don't have what you need to take what I shared and do something with it, I take that as my
mhm.
responsibility. And so in this journal, I'm sharing those tools. And one of the first things that is included in that journal life planner is an activity that helps you define your personal mission and vision statement. And so
Beautiful.
we hear mission and vision statement in nonprofits a lot, in corporations, because it's how it guides the organization. It's
Right.
how they plan all of their activities. It's what they use to measure their benchmarks and whether they're successful. And not often do we think about designing our own life's mission so that we
Yes.
meet our outcomes and that we can measure our own success based on what we see for ourselves and our vision for how we're going to actually manifest that. And so that is a tool that's in there. And then, as I was speaking before, really dealing with this mindset and our saboteurs. And so in the journal, there is a whole activity that explains what the saboteur is, how many, there are about 12 different saboteurs, what they mean, how they react and respond, how they show up, and then the tools that you need to dismantle them and turn them down, right?
Oh,
And the
wow.
truth is, those will never leave us,
No.
but we can develop the tools and strengthen the tool that can turn it down immediately so that when it starts talking, nope,
Yeah.
that's not true. I'm not going to believe that. And you make a different choice. And so it is filled with, it has beautiful artwork in it. Let me just say that it's a beautiful piece.
Oh,
And um, it's actually right here.
oh, good. Oh, beautiful. It
So
is
this
beautiful.
is it. And
So they need
so
so they need to get this and
they
celebrate
need
themselves,
to
especially
get
this
this. So
month.
if you go
For
to the website, you can see this book, and then you'll also see the Becoming Unapologetic book. And you can get them in a bundle. And
nice.
if you joined the Rites of Passage to Sisterhood Circle membership, you can get the membership, which is a 1 year um, a 1 year membership that we will be monthly. We meet monthly and we go through these activities and we talk about them and we talk about our progress through the month and we keep adding to our toolbox those things that are going to help us continue to refine and develop our plan for toward the next our next level. And then you can get the journal, the membership, and Becoming Unapologetic book. It'll be on pre-order, but once it's
Yeah.
out, you'll get that. And we will use all of these tools throughout
Nice.
the year through the membership.
Oh my, then that's an incredible, incredible package. So they get a full year mentorship membership with you, which is
Mhm,
the whole the rights to passion that you've been talking about for
mhm,
women, which is great, ladies. That means every month you are getting these monthly modules, live
mhm.
sessions with her, mentoring, all of that good stuff. Then you get that beautiful journal book that she just pulled up where it you got to walk through that. That in and of itself is gorgeous. So if you're not
Mhm.
even going to do the membership, I think you need to purchase that and pass that out to
Yeah,
all your good girlfriends, especially
yes.
this month. Just pass them out as gifts. And you also receive the Becoming Unapologetic book as well. So you're getting the whole package when you go to her website. But the transformation lasts a whole year.
Mhm,
So that's a
mhm.
good deal. So that's a good. So
Yeah.
so tell us about your chapter in the book and tell us, okay, you are already an author, so why did you decide to be a part of a book collaboration project?
So this opportunity came as at the, I don't know, kind of just at the apex of my experience of giving myself permission to be great.
Mm,
And
yes.
so I was the woman who had been working for an organization for years, innovating every year, doing something new, expanding everything. And the truth was, I was being gaslighted. Was
Mm,
like, "You're amazing. You do all of these things. Look at what you're doing. We want you to do all of these things. We're going to set you up and you're going to, we're going to set you up and this position will be for you and it'll be all you and you get to transform or do all of these things." And I'm like, "Great. I'm ready. I got my stuff. I'm locked. I'm loaded." And then the time came and it was like, "Oh, you need more development. We think you need more coaching. We think it should go a different way." And it was in that moment, it took me a minute. It was very devastating,
mhm,
but it took me a minute, and I finally realized that they were committed. And I'm saying this because this is how it came to me. They were absolutely committed to not seeing me for who I am.
mm,
And I'll say this, if they really saw me, they had decided years ago that I
mm.
wasn't worthy enough, that I wasn't good enough, and that there was no way that Deonna was going to have that level of role within this organization at all. And
And
so, yeah.
when I hear you say that, because I've heard you say that statement before, that
Mhm,
is so powerful. It's
mhm,
like they had already decided years ago.
mhm.
Speak to what that is about, because if someone's listening, they're going, they didn't know you years ago, but when you
Oh,
say that,
no, they've known,
that
so I've been with that organization for 9 years.
come
I had
on.
been with the organization in 9 years. When I started at that organization, I actually only started part-time because I was already in another role where I
Sure.
was a master trainer. I was traveling all over training educators and executives on how to hold space for young people. And so I had been doing this work. When I got to that organization, most of the programs that they were getting new grants for or had just gotten grants for, I had already worked with all of these people. And so early on, I'm this is my perspective. They noticed that I didn't come there needing them, right? Because I came in the door and every time somebody came in, they knew me and had
Mm.
worked with me and
Oh
loved
wow.
me, right? And I challenged them. So I became an immediate threat,
Sure.
right? But they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't do anything because they had nothing against me. So it benefited them to have me there. And they finally figured out, okay, well, let's take advantage of this. Let's let her do these things since she has these connections. Well, year 4, 5, 6 comes, year 7, year 8 comes. And now I've again pointed out where they have made a misstep. And then
Mm,
I come in to try to correct it. But unfortunately, they dug themselves in a hole too deep, and it just wouldn't work. So, and I told them that.
mm,
So yeah, no, they can't let you go.
mhm.
They've already been dealing with you for too long anyway.
Wow.
So yeah, they know, they had known for years. And why I say they had decided years ago was because actually I had a leader tell me that explicitly to my face.
Oh, wow.
That when they made you manager back then, we didn't think you were ready then,
Gotcha.
and you still are not ready.
Wow.
How is that when I have managed over $3 million worth
Yes.
of programming that has been repeatedly funded to us because of the work that I've done?
Yes.
How am I not ready when I have consistently grown programs capacity from 60 to 375 youth, being able to be paid for working experiences
Yes.
on the west side of Chicago, but I'm not ready. It's okay. Clearly, I'm
So
not.
so this is coming from a place that is really deep in you. It's your personal story. It is your
This is
personal passion.
absolutely, it is my personal story. And it's not just mine. And that was the breakthrough, right? And so when you and I had the conversation about this book, the light bulb came on and was like, you're not the only one.
Mhm.
Because if nothing else, you know that there were other women where you were experiencing the same thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so if it's 2 or 3 of y'all there, it's got to be at least 3,000 in Chicago dealing with the same thing, right? And then that we're not
Mhm.
gonna even, you know what I'm saying? So it exponentially showed me how important one story is because it will ripple out into the world. And
Yes.
it was one of those moments when another permission I had to grant myself was that I am smart enough and I have something to say. And
Yes.
I need to care more about the woman like me who is isolated and alone in a room full of people with nobody speaking to her, telling her that the thing that she has been doing her entire life is the thing that she is supposed to be doing, and that no matter what the people around you are saying, you have the power and the authority to create that space for yourself. And when you are honest and true to that, God will always take you where your gift belongs. And when you show up, do the thing and own it.
Yeah.
So
That is so
that
good.
is that's what really motivated me to do this. And even through it, I was like, "Oh Lord, can I really? What am I gonna say? I don't know." And then it was just like, and you said, "Just talk, just speak," and I was like, "Just just talk, okay." And listen, the floodgates opened, and it came out, and I'm excited, and I am still writing actually, still doing
Good.
more writing, and I
Good.
am looking forward to sharing the rest of this story and the other
Yeah.
tools that I've learned. And one of those was how to identify your God given calling.
I love it.
And that was the thing that I ran from for so long, not even
Mm,
understanding it. But
mhm.
in this process, I was able to accept that the thing that I was running from is the very thing that he gifted me. And
Exactly.
that is the gift of leadership. And I kept asking myself, why is it every time I go somewhere, they always call me to do something? They always call me up to speak. And they always looking at me, go, Deonna can do it. How, is there a sign on my head that I don't see? Right. And
Yes.
and God showed me, like, no, this started back at church when you were on the usher board, and then they put you in the choir, and then they made you. And I was like, God, really? You've been doing this my whole life long?
Your whole life.
And so I stand in it, and I need community
Hmm.
to continue to fortify me in what I now know. And that is where I get my energy. That is where I get my motivation to keep showing up and keep doing the work, because it is hard. Even once you know, it's still going to be hard.
It is.
And if I've learned nothing, is if you're going to do the hard thing, make sure you got community.
No, that's good. No, that's real good. So we could talk on and on, and you have dropped some incredible things. I want to just share one thing that you said out of all the things that you say, so many powerful things, is that you're still writing. And I think
Mhm.
people don't understand is when they come to these anthology projects, that is the thing. We pray that this is not the end of your writing experience, that this experience kind of sparks you to write the whole book, because everybody's writing one chapter in the book anthology project, but that doesn't mean you walk away and you leave it. You can take this book, because all of you guys are probably taking your books, and we're showing you guys how to move them into ebooks. But if you
Mhm.
want to go on and write the whole entire book, go for it. Go
Yeah.
for it. So, what would be your closing statement to a woman who is, maybe she's an author, maybe she's a business owner, and she's just teetering? What would be your last kind of closing words to encourage her and empower her on today?
The thing that moved me and got me to this place was this: get comfortable being uncomfortable, and allow yourself to care more about the people who need what you have
Mm,
than you care about what could potentially happen when you step in the limelight, because you have to be the voice. You have to be the face. You have to be the example, because there's somebody out there that desperately needs what you have. And if you care more about making sure that they have what they have than you care about being afraid of being out front, that's when you are doing the gift and the work that God has called you to do. So, my word is, care more about the people that need your work than you care about being in front.
wow. Thank you so much, Deanna. I put her information up because I want you to connect with her. She has some powerful, powerful tools for you and your organization. If you need her to connect with your organization, or you want to do one on one coaching and consulting with her, that is her information right there. Please connect with her. And she has a phenomenal package that she has shared with us, a bundle where you actually get her mentoring program for the whole year, which is phenomenal, along with her fabulous workbook, principles on the rites to passage. And you also get a copy of Becoming Unapologetic. So you get three things, plus you
Mm.
get her as a mentor. And so that is invaluable, ladies. We've already talked about the importance of investing in yourselves, and she has put together a package that is phenomenally going to propel you to the next place in your leadership. So connect with her, and we're so glad that you connected with us on today.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank you.